Coulda, shoulda, woulda, but didn't. All those are just excuses. How many times in our lives do we think we should have done something? We could have done something, but we didn't do it. How often does that happen? In my life, it happened so many times, but you know what? That all changed when I decided enough is enough. I decided to take life by the horns and make it what I want it to be. And you can too. Josh, living life alcohol free. How's everybody doing today? Back here with another video, and I hope everybody's doing well. As most of you know that are subscribers to my channel, you know that I got sober in 2020. You know that I found God again, got my relationship on track with God in 2022. And you know that I changed my life. I turned it around. I made it what I wanted it to be. I started this YouTube channel in 2024. All these things were happening incrementally, and they just take time. But I couldn't get there without certain things, certain beliefs, certain faith. I couldn't get there until I was able to grab my demon voice, grab my devil within me, take it by the neck, beat it against the ground, and just tell it, I'm done. I'm done with you. I don't want to make any more excuses. I want my life back. I don't want to continue living in this hell that you put me in, and that ultimately I put myself in, but I didn't know. I didn't know what tools I needed. I didn't know what I needed to do to gain the life that I wanted. I didn't know how to get it done. What it took is a shift in mindset from, I don't really care what happens to me in my life. Whatever happens, happens, to, I want to do God's will, and I want to be a better person. I want to be a better husband. I want to be a better father. I want to be a better son of God. I want to be a better son to my mom. I want to really live for God's glory. That's what I was put here to do. I never felt like I had a calling all my life. I didn't feel like I fit in. I didn't feel like there was any reason for me to be motivated. I didn't really feel like there was any need for it. I feel like that's kind of a symptom of our society and the issues that we face as a society, is that, it doesn't really matter. We can just use marijuana, use sports gambling, use porn, use alcohol, use all these things to mask what's really happening, which is a decay. It's a decay in our society, but it's a decay in our minds. We do matter. We matter. We matter to God. We matter to our families. We matter to our bosses at work. We matter to everything. We matter. And until I shifted my mind and figured out that what I do matters and that I can get out of my own way and change for the better, that's really when things started to change for me. I used to always say this term, coulda, woulda, shoulda, but didn't. And I used to use it for other people, but I never really applied it to myself. And it popped into my head today that I used to say that. And it was just kind of like, there's so many ways that we can make excuses. We don't have to change. I mean, we've been able to do and get away with what we are for our entire lives. So what difference does it make? I don't know where you are in your lives. I don't know if you're here just for sobriety or just for faith or just for motivational speaking. I don't know if you're here for inspiration, or maybe you're here for all that. I spent a good 3 years trying to figure out how to have better relationships with my wife, with my daughters. I was drinking through all that. I spent a good 3 years from 2017 to 2020 trying to improve, even to the point where I decided for the first time in my life to take antidepressants. I always swore it off because of my drinking. I didn't want to add some kind of a drug to my drinking and have that be a problem for my health. I was afraid. I was afraid of that, honestly. My psychologist kind of told me that, and I was open with him about it, that, the worst that could happen would be that the alcohol offsets the benefits of the drug. That eased my mind so that I could do both. But I figured out as time went on that every 6 months to a year, I had to up the dosage of the medication. And he said it was probably because of your drinking, which I did not want to believe. Of course, if you're like me and you cherish your alcohol, you don't want anything to get in the way of it. You don't want anything to get in the way of the time that you spend drinking it, the time that you spend in leisure time drinking. You don't want to give up your old habits and your old routines. Eventually, I got so tired of getting angry and I got so tired of making excuses that I decided it was time to make a change. So that's what I did in 2020. At the beginning of the pandemic, when many people started drinking more, started isolating more, started using other things, some people started drinking during that time, and other people would start using marijuana. That became legalized here around that, a year before that. Sports gambling online became legal about a year before that. All these things were being advertised. And as I quit, I started noticing that, man, there's all these billboards and advertisements for this stuff. And God, more than alcohol, even. And it's like, man, you know, if I was still drinking, the alcohol could be a gateway to use these other things. Because I liked doing some of those things in the past. Why not? You know, it makes me mad, to be honest, thinking about it, but I digress. And I get to a point where, it's like I'm just thankful. I'm thankful that I don't drink. I'm thankful that I'm not triggered to do these other things and escape in the ways that our society wants us to. And as time progressed and I was on my sober communities, and I just decided that I wanted to grow in my faith. I wanted to talk about that more. And that group wasn't really receptive to that. There were a few people here and there that were, but for the most part, it wasn't, I didn't feel like I was fulfilled with my faith and my sobriety community. So I found a church, I found my pastor, I grew in my faith. I've been growing ever since. I started this channel because I wanted to have a community and a group of people that are similar thinking that I am. That doesn't mean that I'm excluding other people that don't believe what I believe in, but I'm a Christian, I'm a non drinker. Those aren't my labels. My name is Josh. I'm just a person. I do have things that I want to express in a way that is personal to me and that other people might relate to and can incorporate into their lives, and help stay sober, help you grow in your faith, help you do things, change things that you otherwise wouldn't be able to do. God is good, and God is the reason why I've been able to do what I've been able to do. I always believed in God, but I wasn't able to really find the solace that I was seeking all my life until I was able to surrender to God, trust in Jesus, know that the Holy Spirit is within me. That instead of I should have done that, it's I can do that. I can do it. I can do whatever it is. Whatever life throws at me, I'm able to do it because I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of failing anymore. That was one of the reasons why I was held back for so long? Are you afraid? Are you terrified of rejection? Are you terrified that if you fail, that it's going to send you down a spiral that's going to lead to a destruction? Because that's what I was afraid of. I was afraid to give up the alcohol because that was what comforted those fears. I was afraid to live my life without alcohol because that was my coping mechanism. That was how I dealt with all the things that were wrong with this world. Because let's face it, there's a lot wrong with this world. It's been burning since the beginning of time. It doesn't have to be in our lives. We can make our lives whatever we want it to be. I'll have more to come on this. Check out my other videos. I'm going to post my sobriety and my faith playlists in the comment section. I'm also going to post my sobriety group on Facebook. It's a private group. It's called Sobriety in the Storm. Come check that out. I hope you all have a great sober day. This is one day at a time. We're making things happen. We're changing our lives. Have a great day, everybody, and we'll talk to you soon.